Why are we here? To learn Facebook ads that get likes and fans and web traffic for the lowest cost. This is what I'm talking about. 2,619 likes for $1.73. 20,000 page likes at 0.00 cost per page like. 1 cent cost per click on a 4,729 page like campaign. If you want bigger stats, $181 spent for 60,000 page likes. $165 spent for 60,000 page likes. $155 spent for 53,000 page likes. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this for yourself, regardless of what kind of page you have. If you want to spend $840 and get 250,000 Facebook likes out of it, or get people to your website, or anything else you want people to notice online, here's how to do it. And a lot more of what you can achieve with it. 2,900 likes for $12. Now, these results are some awesome campaigns with it, but you used to easily be able to get 100 to 200 likes per dollar using this strategy. Click-through rate of around 1% at 0.02 optimized CPM. That's where you get a 0.00 per like. Why would you want 100,000 fans? Why did I make this video? And why would you want 100,000 fans? I want you to have the best available resources to build your reputation, your Facebook page, and who you are up online completely for free. You want 100,000 fans because you want an audience. You want to stand out. The same reason I've made this YouTube video. I want to give you something that's helpful and useful. You want to have an audience of people you give helpful and useful information to that pay attention to you and what you have to offer. The idea is with the 100,000 fans, you want to stand out. You want to stand out like this. 676,000 likes on my third company Facebook page. The one before it had over 600,000, and the first one I made had over 100,000. The irony is I spent more effort, time, and aggravation to make the first one that had 100,000 than I did to make the next two pages combined that now have over 1 million fans. You want to stand out on networks like Klout, where this is a top 1% score in terms of influence. Klout measures your online influence. My company stands out from the thousands of other companies offering to help out with online advertising and Facebook ads. My YouTube channel, the same thing. So what I'm showing is I believe strongly in what I'm showing you how to do, and that's why I'm showing you how to do it, is because I want you to be able to do this for yourself. So you make an audience, and most do not, and I will show you the cost of not making an audience, and then I will dive into the details of actually how to do this. I love this ad. This came up on my newsfeed. Are you curious enough? With a picture of an attractive girl, a website, and an app. Now, what is wrong with this ad? Any ideas what's wrong with this ad? Well, now that you've had time to look at it, I would say you probably can say 23 people use this app is what's wrong with this ad. Why would I want to know about or use something that only 23 people have used? There's a very small fraction of the population that's always interested in being the very first to do something and engage with something. Those 1 to 10%, depending on your definition, are either called innovators, early adopters, or something similar. Those are the only possible people that might be attracted to this ad. The problem is most of those kinds of people, especially in where I'm located in Sarasota in the U.S., are not the kind of people that are seeing this ad. I have no interest in using an app that you could see whoever made this app didn't even get their friends and family all to use the app, let alone anyone else. Why would I want to use it? The same applies more generally. Brand launch experts. I hope they don't mean online branding, because 387 people liking their page, and I checked it just now since I took the screenshot a couple of months ago, this page only is up to 400 and something now. They are not even launching themselves online, let alone would I trust them to launch my company online. The same thing with brand business creatively or this headline from Do Video Now. I don't understand why I would want to participate with that when it's clear that not very many other people are. Or at least that's how it appears on Facebook, and that's the key difference. Regardless of how many people are actually doing business with any of these companies, how they appear on Facebook is mostly a function of how many likes you have and how much engagement you have. By comparison, look at this ad for Walmart. I have 2 of my friends that like Walmart. So when I see their ad for Start College in Style, even though I've got my master's degree already and I'm not exactly going back to college Walmart, but their ad targeting department's not perfect either. They do have 2 of my friends that already like the page. So that's a lot more powerful endorsement. Imagine if I had 2 of my friends that liked this page. I might be paying attention to it. Or if I saw, like on this next page, 36,000 people like astrology and horoscope. I take that seriously. I would think that's established. That's a lot of people are trusting and participating with their comment, regardless of the actual in-person reality behind that. It looks impressive. This modeling troop, considering it's an event, looks fairly impressive as well. When you only have a few likes on your page, regardless of how creative your picture is, it's not as impressive. And what you do, you want to stand out. The thing is, look at this progressive post, the engagement on it. 230 likes on it, 136 comments, 26 shares. Yes, you could say, well, Progressive has a huge budget. They can afford to do stuff like this. You can afford to do stuff like this on a small budget using these strategies I'm going to show you. And the difference is when you pop up in your ideal person's news feed, you want to look impressive. It's just like dating. When you are about to go out with the perfect person, girl or guy, whatever, you want to look your best and be in great shape. What I'm going to show you is how to look and present your best side. Now, what you actually have to offer people will determine what response you get out of it. But I'm giving you a chance to succeed. This information gives you a chance to get where you want to. You have to take that chance and make something out of it. I'm giving this to you because I want you to have the biggest chance possible. Most people don't have much of a chance, and I want you, and I want the people of the world to all have a chance. For example, this is not a chance. When you've put an ad like this in my newsfeed, 20 people like it with 1 comment and 1 share. I hope the comment and the share was at least maybe the person that posted the ad, or maybe someone else. Who knows? They're offering free small business news. Why would I want free small business news when their engagement's so low that my potential trust or belief in their ability to give me news I can use, which they say they offer, is very low? Because I know if it was that good, other people would be using it before me. I know of too many websites and too many places I can get great small business news from to be interested in trying a new one that's thrown in front of me just because it's there. The same thing applies for this page that's promoting itself. Sure, they tell me what they do. Given 358 people like this, and I don't know anyone from it, it's not standing out, the logo's not even coming through clearly, what is the point of me engaging with this ad? They're paying Facebook to show this ad. What are they getting out of it? I want you to be able to get the most out of it. Now it's time for me to show you how. Because A lot of you were probably sold on the why before I described it. But it's important to cover why when we do things. Because why do we do anything? If there's no why to what you're doing, then why bother? But now that you know why, here's the how. The key philosophy behind the how is, as Sun Tzu says, you want to subdue the enemy without fighting. I don't want to fight with other advertisers with massive budgets, like Coke, or whoever spends tons of money online advertising in the US. I don't want to fight with them over the same person seeing my ads. I don't have to with the way Facebook allows you to target. If you look, this is one of the ads campaigns I showed earlier that got 60,000 likes for $165. Look at how these ads are targeted. India, Albania, Nepal, Malaysia, Mexico, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Pakistan, Venezuela, Argentina, Chile, Indonesia, Brazil, Poland, Serbia, Slovakia, Trinidad and Tobago, Bangladesh, Egypt, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Tunisia, Vietnam, or Algeria. I know all these companies give low-cost ad impressions, and I know there's very few other advertisers with big budgets that are pushing ads out in these areas. And this is what I got out of it. $165, 60,000 page likes. And that's a product of the click-through rate times the optimized CPM. So this is an exceptional click-through rate because a lot of these are showing in areas where the ads very rarely get clicked on. That's why they're so cheap. So this click-through rate times how cheap the ads are. This means I'm getting 6.5 clicks out of every 2 cents I spend. This is how I'm getting the ads so cheap. And that's what you want to do. You can do it by targeting countries like this. And I recommend you match it specifically to what you do. If your page is in Spanish or another language, you want to pick the countries based on where your audience is. These countries I've researched, they have a low-cost English-speaking audience, which is what I'm looking for. Although this ad didn't actually target English, but I'll show you future ads that do. This is an ad targeting a Christian audience in countries where there's lots of Christians that speak English. You can see the ads at a much higher click-through rate here and are showing at the lowest price I can get in US dollars. I'm wanting to try some lower value currencies so that I can get even lower prices, but 1 cent per 1,000 impressions. That means I'm getting 11 clicks out of every 1,000 impressions I show for 1 cent. So you can see how I got 4,000 clicks, 3,800 page likes out of $4.71 spent. And these are targeted to people that already like Christianity or Christian-based Facebook pages. They're targeted to people that already told Facebook they speak English, either the UK or the US version. And you can see this is actually even a mix of the US, India, Tanzania, Italy, Ethiopia, Malaysia, Mexico, Canada, Pakistan, Venezuela, Argentina, etc. These are countries where there's lots of Christians that speak English. I matched this off of Wikipedia with the numbers of people that speak English with the numbers of Christians and then put that into Facebook targeting. So that's how you can do the same thing. Here's a similar type campaign I ran for my original free advertising training video that I made. You can see I'm targeting a niche of marketing and advertising that's very specific, and I'm getting event responses for 7 cents each. That's anywhere from 10 to 100 times less than a lot of other people are paying online for event responses. I ran local ads just trying to do it the hard way, and most event responses were costing anywhere from $2 to $10. You're saying, well, why do you want people from Kenya to come to your online ad training? Because a person from Kenya coming to my online ad training is just as good in terms of the metrics, in terms of the number of people at the event, the number of people on Google that watch it, the number of YouTube views I get that follow up, the number of shares. Almost all of the key metrics, having someone from Kenya come to the event is just as good or better than having someone from the US or another country like Canada or Australia where the ad costs are higher, come to my event. Now, at this point, you might say, well, what are the odds of someone from Kenya actually paying you to do business with you? They're probably pretty low. But here's the thing. The odds of someone in the US paying me to do business with them are low also. The difference is I can get 10 to 100 plus people in Kenya for the same cost as one person in the US. Now scale that up. I can get 1,000 people from the US, or I can get 100,000 people from Kenya. Are there that many people in Kenya? I don't know, but between where that can go to my event. But between all these countries, there are. I'd rather have 100,000 people go to my event because the follow-up, all of the traffic and online excitement that results from that will bring me people from the US and Canada and places that can pay. All of the follow-up and activity from that will bring me for free people that find my videos and that will be interested in paying me. The idea is having more online is much better than having less at the same cost. And it's not all about getting paid. Most of my cohorts or people doing similar activities to me think the only thing that matters is getting someone to pay you, and that's not the only thing that matters in this brave new world. And if you want to see the ad, here's the ad. So that's not all that matters, is getting paid. Helping people and giving people useful information is what matters. If you give people what they need, people will give you what you need. So that's what I'm doing. I want to give as many people as possible what they need with the understanding that I will probably get what I need in return. I have faith, and this approach is built on having faith and building an audience of people that value what you give them. Out of this, or in this same line of thinking, Macklemore, if you like Thrift Shop or his album, says, one man's trash is another man's come up. The same idea of the thrift shop. Getting things at a great value, especially online, is much more powerful than doing things the way everyone else thinks to do. So here's how this campaign went. 700 event responses, $52. This is another man's trash, is one man's trash to another man's come up. $58, 19,000 likes. 19,000 likes, regardless of where they're from, is better than 100 likes from a very specific place. What I offered in this original free training and what I'm expanding on now is showing you how to do this. Using these results clearly works again and again for any type of page, regardless of the ad campaign, to get exceptional results for a very low price. $24 for 9,600 page likes. And when I started this on my third company page, I just put pictures of my dogs and promoted my puppy, and you can see I only had 36,000 likes at this point. This is exactly how I made the ads. 9,600 page likes, targeted to people that like dog, who speak English, who are not connected to Bandwork, in the countries I knew where the ad costs are low. I used stock photos to ensure I didn't have any copyright. I asked a simple question to begin, and I gave a simple value proposition. And this is how I target it. Now, what if you do not have pictures of cute dogs? On the forums I post on the Warrior forums, there's lots of haters, of course, that say, you can't just use dogs and all these other strategies to get as many fans as possible. That's crap. Well, I agree. In principle, at least. In practice, you can do whatever works. But in principle, you should ideally give things related to what you do. My strategy works for any page, for any ad creative, any medium, because it's not as much of a simple approach or a little hack or a weird trick. It's an assumption that everyone's valuable. My strategy simply challenges the assumption that people are worth more than others. The strategy I'm saying is everyone's valuable online. What do you think this kind of ad campaign's for? These kind of results. 1,400 likes, $28. You can see this ad campaign was for a computer or an IT business page. Like work with computers, we have information that can help with a circuit board. In the broad categories, computer programming or owners of old computers. You can see one of the individual ad campaigns as a part of the larger campaign had 658 page likes. Now here's another one. $28 spent, 1,600 page likes. If you look into the details, the ad costs are a little bit higher, but the cost per page like is 1 and 2 cents each. And it turns out this is actually for a real estate page. Love the beach photo. I mean, this is an exact value proposition of a real estate agent that's a friend of mine. I did ads. I even put his ads in the US, UK, Canada, along with some low-cost countries, targeted very specific terms related to the kind of homes he might like. And look, 1 week of his ads got 736 likes for $7. Actually, a correction. This was his ad campaign above. Well, they both got exactly 736. That's funny. You can see he got a lot more photo views than the other guy did. All right, anyway, moving on. Keys to financial success. This is for a MLM, a financial success page. You can see he got 736 likes also with 26 page views and 1 page post like. While his page has 1,751 people that like his page, the ads were targeted to people that liked finance, so a much different audience in similar types of countries. Here's a different ad campaign for mobile app installs, and this actually is tracking the installs directly from Google Play. And this ad campaign is targeted very broadly because this was an exploratory ad campaign, but you can still see the app install cost is pretty low. There's lots of companies that pay $1 or $2 for an app install or get expensive ad campaigns in Times Square and work desperately hard to promote their apps. And you can see $30 spent, 129 app installs. Scale that up on the App Store, and you can easily push your app up in the leaderboards. Why does this work like this? 80-20 rule. 80% of advertisers target 20% of the audience. 20% of the advertisers target 80% of the audience. I'm in those 20%. The bulk of Facebook users are not in the US or the UK or in Canada or in Australia or in most of the countries most of the money gets spent to target. At the same time, most of the users in the countries that don't have as many ads have really low quality of ads because there's not as much competition or as many different pages for them to choose from. They see ads often not relevant to their page that are mistargeted or not in their language. I'm putting good ads in places where the cost is low and the competition's low. That's why I can get such great results like this. Event responses at a really low cost. Now, how effective is this strategy? If you want to see a direct comparison, this is using the strategy that I am recommending. We're assuming all people are created equal, and especially when it comes to getting page likes. This is with my country targeting that I showed before. Now, when I change I made the change on this date and the ads ran full on this date. The exact same budget, but the ads are restricted to the US only starting on this day. 6 page likes versus over 200 out of the exact same budget. This is the difference. If you think 6 page likes are worth the exact same as 250 page likes out of the same budget, I'm going to say most of the time that's going to be wrong. At least for the long term and building a successful audience. Sure, you might maybe get a purchase or something out of those 6 likes, whereas you might not get it out of the 250. But for the long term, when wealth continues to spread around the world, Facebook continues to be more established, fans around the world get more expensive. When you have 3 million fans and you're getting thousands of fans free every day, or you've got 10,000 fans and everyone already made a purchase and is not making new purchases, I'm going to say having the 3 million fans is a lot more valuable. Now, this doesn't just apply for only targeting low-cost countries. Using more broad country targeting and out-of-the-box targeting, you can still target countries where the wealth and per capita income spending power gives you access to more people for a lower cost. So you can see I'm getting web clicks for 21 cents each, targeting countries where I know based on the research that I have a good chance of getting someone to make a purchase from me. So I'm still targeting great areas of opportunity with focused ads for my own company website at 21 cents per click. And you can see the suggested bid range, I'm getting way into the bottom of that. Using broader country targeting, and if you want to match it with wealth, you can still be getting great opportunities and customers using this strategy of exploring and finding those 80% of the audience that most advertisers don't target. Based on my feedback, a lot of people asked, while I watched your video, I didn't see how to actually make and go in and do the ads. So on this second run through of the video, I've shown you what's possible, why you should do it, and how to do it. The how to do it is now I'm going to give you more detail on how to actually do it from start to finish. So facebook.com/ads. The first question is, what can you promote? You can promote websites, Facebook pages, mobile apps, affiliate links, phone numbers, or your business location with Facebook ads. Facebook ads is a powerful platform in terms of how many people you can reach, how targeted they are, and where you can send them. Now, with this group of pages, you have to get more creative. You can't just simply send someone your affiliate link or your phone number or your business location generally. But this first group of pages is pretty straightforward. What is the best to promote? I recommend always promoting pages, photos, and stories, at least with the majority of your ads. You can see I promoted events and websites of my own. Obviously, I've promoted many more client websites and pages and photos of theirs. The best return generally for the long term is promoting a Facebook page directly, or photos or stories directly. The conversions, for example, that I've seen the best out of were for a weight loss product that promoted a weight loss story directly in a post, $1.41 for a lead. And I mean, that, given that most of their leads were costing a lot more than that, the story they posted was powerful, and I recommend that. What do the ads look like? Once you go to facebook.com/ads, Facebook may offer you some basic, get your first ad set up or whatnot. But once you do that or have done that, this is what the ads interface looks like. And these, you can see some of the ad campaigns I've been running to promote my own page. The key areas on this are, there's 3 key areas. The campaigns and ads is the main tab to use. The create an ad button is where you actually make the ads. But a lot of people neglect the reports tab, and there's 3 parts to doing Facebook ads that are critical. One is doing your research beforehand. And this video is part of your research beforehand about what's possible. Two is actually creating an ad that's simple and matched to the audience. I showed you a few examples of ads I've done, and I'll show you more. But the third part that most people neglect is correctly analyzing the data based on what they're getting out of it. And I say correctly. Correctly in this sense is emphasizing focus on the important data, the data that matters. And the cost per page like, if you're advertising a page, is nearly the only thing that matters. The cost per page like, all the click through and all the other data they give you, it doesn't matter if you're promoting a page. Just the cost per page like is the only thing you need to look at. So I'm going to give you more of that in the future. The next step looking at this is, once you know how to use this interface, you click on create an ad. This is what will pop up. I put in my company's Facebook page. Get more page likes is my objective. Now, if you want to promote a business location, or you have something you want to get a conversion out of, or something similar to that, you might want to promote a page post instead of getting more page likes. However, you want a lot of page likes first. Remember how I showed you to begin with what it looks like when you have a page that's small that no one believes in. You want to get more page likes first to just get that validity. You know, with over 500,000 people liking my page, you know I have a sizable audience. And you can say whatever you want to about my audience. I've got a huge audience and a huge online footprint, even though my company is only around 2 years old. I have a bigger footprint than million-dollar companies around the world. That's what you want to establish first, especially if you do a lot of business online. Now, if you just want people to call you or do some local business with you, promoting the page post might be a better option. Once you've picked to get more page likes, you have options to upload different images. Now, one of the pro tips to get better results out of your ads is to upload big, good-looking images. What is the easiest way to get big, good-looking images? If you already have an established, for example, a car dealership, just take pictures of the cars you have and upload those pictures. Crop them in, put your phone number in. If you are a fashion boutique, which seem to gravitate towards me as a client, you can put pictures that you already take into these images. The key is you want to use a lot of pictures. You can put up to 6 images in one ad, but you want to make your ad campaigns with 20 to 30 different images. So you want to upload as many images as possible. Once you put the images in, you want to see how they look in various ad formats. The newsfeed is the first ad they show, and you can see the headline doesn't actually show in the newsfeed ad because of my image size. It only shows the text, and Facebook gives you the notification of that right there. The headline, I just put this for fun in the video, Band Work Rocks Your World, but you could see some of the other ads I did had a very simple key value proposition, such as like cute dogs or like a great business strategy. You want a simple headline often that asks a question and gets people thinking. You don't want an ad that just blends in with the rest, and most of the ads are talking at people instead of talking to people. You want to give someone the chance to think about what you have to say. You don't want to just blindly yell at them because everyone else is blindly yelling at them too. The name of the game is to stand out. So your headline is a great chance to stand out unless you're in the news feed, in which case it's not even there. So it's important, if you have a key headline you want to use, you may need to remove the news feed ad. For the text ad, you can see in the news feed this pops up. For the right-hand column, you'll see the right-hand column, the headline's here, and the text is right here. For the text, you often want to put your value proposition. Once you get someone thinking about what you have to offer, then you want more of your value proposition in the text. The sponsored stories, I would generally recommend unchecking this option. The sponsored stories create an additional ad unit that specifically shows just that your friends like something. Often these will be a lot more expensive than a more generic ad. I recommend experimenting and seeing what works best for you. Now, how do you actually choose the locations? Once you've done the last several steps, now you can actually choose the locations. This is a campaign this is how I would make my campaign if I wanted to reach what has proven to consistently be my easiest to reach and highest value return in terms of cost of acquisition and cost, my ROI. This is my great return. Older people in Canada that are interested in various business areas. However, remember what I showed you before. To just build Facebook likes, as many of them as possible, you want to enter in countries where the ad costs are low, either in addition to your ideal scenario, or I recommend splitting completely. You have one campaign you put up for your ideal scenario, and you put another campaign up that's just for quantity, just as many people as possible. In the targeting settings, you just continue to add one location by country in after another. I recommend if you're going to go with getting as many as possible, go all the way with it. Just leave the age to the default, leave the gender, maybe pick the gender, like if it's a fashion page, picking the women can help a lot in getting better results. The key is, no matter how you do your ads, picking your interests out is critical. And there's a mixed bag on this. Sometimes picking out a generic interest can prove to be a great way to get a ton of fans for low cost. Other times, picking out a generic interest can be a great way to blend in with everyone else and get higher ad prices charged. Sometimes an alternative, such as choosing an out-of-the-box targeting, such as for a fashion page, choosing women that like happy, and then showing them how your page makes them happy, can often work a lot better than hitting the generic fashion terms. You also can target competitor pages only and not put in the generic terms, because lots of times the competitors have done however they got their fans. You know a lot more about what kind of person likes their page than, say, the people using the fashion term. And you're going to often run into less competition using more specific page audiences than using a generic term. The thing is, the only way you know is if you test both of them against each other. So my recommendation is always to make separate campaigns by audience. So that's location, age, gender, and interests. And use the same ad creatives. The final step in creating your ads is doing the campaign. So when I say make a separate campaign, you use the new campaign option to make a different campaign. And this is especially powerful for testing out your ads based on getting a low-cost audience. If you want a low-cost audience, you want to test those ads out separate from whatever other ads you're doing so that you can just see how much they're costing you versus how much you're paying in the other campaign. I always recommend setting a daily budget, but if you only have a fixed budget, you can set a start and an end date and have a lifetime budget, and that way you know you're not just going to spend a ridiculous amount of money by accident. The bidding choices are key, especially to get the most likes out of those optimized CPM campaigns I showed you. You need to choose optimize for page likes. If you bid for clicks, if you get a click for 1 cent each, the max you can get is 100 clicks per dollar. If you remember my screenshots before, I was getting as many as 11 clicks for 1 cent spent. Thus, you need to optimize for page likes to get the best possible rate, unless you're doing web traffic. You can do the strategy I've suggested for web traffic also, just the same as you can do it for Facebook traffic. Although there's likely to be a lot of unexpected consequences. For example, Facebook might be available in the country you're advertising in, but your website might not load. So you would want to test that out carefully in each scenario and get some data on that before you go with a huge campaign. But you can manually bid for clicks, and I recommend doing this if you're getting just web traffic or you want web traffic as the result. So when you do all of this right, here's what can happen. This is one of the many $10 a day campaigns I'm running. You can see I'm pushing over 200 likes per dollar spent. So that means I'm getting 2 clicks for every, or 2 likes out of every 1 cent spent. This is what's possible for you when you put all these strategies together. And here's how, after I make the ads, like you just saw, here's how they come out. The key is this metric, cost per page like, total spent. Most of the money I'm spending in this campaign is coming out at 2 page likes for 1 cent. So that means it shows as 0.00 cost per page like. And that's a function of click-through rate times optimized CPM. That's how you get your page like. Now, optimized CPM technically is cost per 1,000. And the click-through rate is per 100. So the click-through rate, you actually times it by 10. So that's 3.25 times the 1 cent. And then you can see I'm getting 3 clicks for every cent I spend. And that's how I'm getting 2 page likes out of the money I spend. So you can see $65 spent, roughly 3 clicks per cent spent. 19,000 clicks turns into 14,000 page likes. That's the basic data analysis. Now, remember when I said earlier about the value of clicking the Reports tab? I'm going to show you how to use the Reports tab really quick, because this strategy can be great using 1 or 2 ad campaigns. You can easily see for yourself how good it is. When you want to scale this strategy up and pull 100, 200, 1,000, million Facebook likes, what you need to do to see what's working the best is use the custom report tab. And you can use this. I'm going to show quickly how to do it for page likes and for conversions. So this one you can see is sorted by conversion. And I did this. I went into the reports tab and I custom selected the columns I wanted to print out. So I chose each of these metrics so that Facebook wouldn't give me a bunch of crap I didn't need. And this was an actual analysis I did for a client with a weight loss product. He originally wanted to get conversions down below $20 each. What he didn't realize was that he already had ran a campaign that was getting conversions for $1.41 each. So he runs hundreds of ad campaigns at once. This ad campaign slipped through the cracks. He ran it for a while, but he picked a length on it. You know, he picked a start and an end date, and it went and concluded, and he never noticed $1.41 cost per lead out of this campaign. You can see these campaigns all should be running. When I did this analysis, I told him you need to unpause all of these campaigns that aren't running right now because they were working exceptional. I sorted the same thing for him. He wanted me to come in. He was getting most of his likes for around 79 cents each. And you can see most of these new campaigns I created for him were doing that for a lot less. And they were doing it actually using just a US audience. And the methodology I told you for creating the ads above. So making 6 to 20, 30 plus images per campaign and then trying out all the different audiences. You can see his cost per page likes low, but when you use the worldwide ad campaigns and they're all getting you likes for 0.00, What you'll need to do is actually export this to an Excel file and then sort that by the cost per page like, because a lot of the campaigns I run, the cost per page like is 0.002, 3 or 4, so you can't actually see the difference in the Facebook ads interface. But the importance of sorting on these critical action metrics such as cost per page like and cost per lead or conversion, you've got to sort on these. Otherwise, this is what happens. $9,000 spent on Facebook ads, 79 cents per like to almost the same audience I was running those 20 cents per like ads to, and $4,600 for a conversion. I mean, he said about half of his purchases were immediate conversions and half were long-term conversions. This audience that you spent 10 grand on is none of them are immediate conversions. You don't want things like that. So the reports tab, half of the importance of doing the reporting is to not as much find and analyze every campaign, but find your best and your worst campaigns. Get rid of, pause, and delete the worst campaigns and make sure all the best ones are running. The same thing with the cost per page like. This campaign spent $52, no conversions, and got 1 like out of it. Now this campaign with $11 conversions, you're getting those short-term conversions, but you're not getting much long-term value. The ideal solution, you want to get some of these campaigns running like I showed up here. 22 cents for like, you're getting long-term value, plus you're getting some immediate value out of it as well. So doing these reporting tabs and sorting based on best and worst, that's the easiest way to see how well the method I showed you is working, and especially to compare between your different ad campaigns and things you're testing. So this is what you want to get your goal at. And I've showed you the 3 key things you need to do to get it this way. You first want to do your research, think out of the box. Second, you want to create the ads with attention to having powerful ad campaigns that are split tested. That means you have different ad campaigns and you have many different ads with different pictures at least in each campaign. And then you have to analyze what ads are working and what aren't. Did this seem like a whole lot to you to learn? Well, I've combined the thousands of hours of experience I have down into one video. If it seems like a whole lot, you can email hijerry@bandwork.com with your questions, and I'll be happy to give you a free consultation. And either if you don't have a budget or any money you want to spend, I will give you the links to the resources I've posted that can be helpful for you to continue learning to do it yourself. If you have a certain budget you want to spend with it, then just let me know what that is, and I can customize a solution for you that gets you exactly what you want. So this is me and my wife, and meeting her has brought so much love into my life that I feel compelled to help other people as much as I can without regard to what I get out of it. So I'm posting this video so that it's useful for you. I'm Jerry Banfield. My company's Bandwork, and if you want to learn more about me, just visit google.com/+Jerry Banfield. You can go through all of my online profiles and check out the content I posted. For a do-it-yourself solution, if you want to just continue learning based on what I've posted, that's the easiest way to go find all of my content. So thank you very much for watching this, and I hope you'll watch more of my videos on my channel.